Hello viewers and welcome to part 29 of the Clues Cat Does Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough as per requested by Twitch viewers. More Bad Manatalk dialogue incoming now where we left off at the very beginning of the Stormblood expansion. Beyond the Great Wall, Alphino is a man with a great deal on his mind. Means I start getting good XP from quests now.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am! You know I'd like nothing more!
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
As if you have to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there. I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well.
I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming, but we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations. Ready, my friend?
Yup.
Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Ugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's Toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kosetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate, together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
A 1,000 moms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both of our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Wait, not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Liz, could you come with me? Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist. Yeah. What do you think? As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter like Lys. Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress. It's lovely, Tataru, thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. I'm glad you like it. And with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward to Girabania. Our first stop will be at Amarex's Spire in the East Shroud. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray and inform the officer that we wish to proceed to Girabania. Ah, the signs of the 7th dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? Yep.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Now I see your quest, but I also see an Aetheryte. Greetings, Scion. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Oriens. Thank you, General. We are relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've had barely any contact with them, but we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Baelsar's war wasn't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald is not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. 'Twas a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound by it, for weal or for woe. The Scions stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Ha, of all the Castra in all the world, you walk into mine. Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing Allagan weapon and Draconic Primal, Omega, and Shinryu, I think the Shinobi called it? Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do so. Then 'tis like Omega fell to Earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engage the stasis system. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming. We should hurry up and find it, regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Garabania, we need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let us not waste any more time talking. Lys takes the lead. Lys is eager to leave Castrum Oriens. As you probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Ralger's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Valodonia River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know it. And now I head into a land where everything wants to kill me. Point in case. Still with me? Good. From here, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. I don't see any soldiers. Good, let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south? It's part of Castellum of Voldynia. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely moms away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. We're here. On the other side of this pass is Rogger's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there's some sort of trick to this? Indeed. A glamour. Good eye, Y'shtola. I take it they have talented mage in their ranks, or mayhap an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms. Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way, and don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare.
I remember the old stories, how the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralga's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. The promise of a new beginning. Conrad knows the purpose of your visit and would like to give you a proper welcome. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let us not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. Now, I see you got something going on there, but... There's an aetheryte. Even though I never use these, it's still nice to have them available should I want to. Remember to tune to the little aetherytes here too.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralga's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that.
You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalimo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolger it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir. To see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that.
There's always more to it than that.
So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
In the meantime, High Warrior of Light here wants to kill some people. How about you, you tell me where to go? A haven for the bold. Alphino is pondering how best to make use of your leisure. So, it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Ah, forgive me, you are free to look around Ralger's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside and out. I can show you around if you like, camper. Okay. Great, let's get started. I'll bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hell's Guards from all the way over to the Spine in here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There's even some Beastmen, well, Beast Women, I suppose. Like that one over there, she's an Ananta. They've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has, the rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's take a closer look at the statue of Ralger, shall we? pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The breaker of worlds, who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Yida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th astral era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign. And lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky and led the way to these mountains for Gurabania. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hells open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on the stone by a monk of the Fists of Rotger. Yida explained it to me. A day will come, bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't even know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. Ah, sorry. That was a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. This is the infirmary. As you can probably tell, here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next. And since I attuned to the Aetheryte before, I can just use the Aetheryte shard to get there. Because I'm lazy. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades to when the Fist of Ralgr was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the Sulters are next, but don't forget to attune to Aetheryte before we go. Arms, armor, potions, you name it. These folks have got it. The Resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alphino and Alizé are here. Why don't we see how they're getting on? We're standing right next to them. I think they can hear us. A bargain struck. Alizé is nodding approvingly at the Sulters. Come to take the measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants? They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. 'Tis a gamble, aye, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We finished discussing your proposal and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I sent someone to fetch Y'shtola and Kryl, so if you'd like to follow me.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you, lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Right then. Monargo and Mefrid are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Amber. Ether Compass. Monargo. I like your hairstyle. A friend of a friend in need. Before she tells you of her mission, Monargo has a few things she would like to say. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life, and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you was the very least you deserved. My apologies. It's okay. And thank you. Now, to business. Commander Kemps entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort, 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly and without attracting undue attention. Very well, I shall join you in this. General Alden commands the forces at Castrum Oriens. It should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great, that's just what I wanted to hear. When you are ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Okay. I can do that. We'll come back to you after. Got everything you need? Good, then let us be off. Quiet, hear that? That was a Ceruleum engine backfiring, Imperials. Ye gods, you have preternatural senses, I didn't hear a thing. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds that could mean life and death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, we have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single Magitech armor. Wide search pattern, divide into 2, no, 3 teams. I don't think they know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling reinforcements. 3 teams, 3 of us. Nothing for it then. Where are they? Head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. The armor should be just to the west. Amber's best equipped to deal with that. We attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous at West Bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. That was it? Yeah, set up a lot. Looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised, the 3 soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work, killing men and women like that, but don't doubt that they'd do the same to you if the roles were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armor. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those things can kill a dozen good men in the blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that after what happened at the wall. Signed, sealed, to be delivered. Managa would like nothing more than continue on to Castromorians. Right, I believe we rested long enough. We should resume our journey before someone notices they're missing patrol. We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. You said the forces of Castrum Oriens were under the command of Flame General Robon Alden, did you not? By Rhalgar, the Bull of Alamigo himself, I never dreamed I'd have a chance to meet the legend. And from here I can just teleport.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
We are, General. Allow me to introduce Monago of Rolga's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole Resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamigan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Aye. Once word spread that we'd won a battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from malms around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
Our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Volodinia, namely the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype Magitech armor. It is our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here, most likely against Alliance forces, mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all, more Magitech weapons? That's the last thing we need. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we are confident we can destroy them all, hindering their development and delaying future deployment. And should we carry this out as a joint endeavor with the Resistance, they will have their rallying cry. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire, but you'd have to have a lot more folk willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. And you were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry the patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, and well within our capabilities. I saw no reason to delay, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment and fully support this plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I shall have one of my men bring you the details of the plan anon. And we, for our part, will be fighting with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt you're intending to sit this one out. Let's kick some Garlean butt. Best served with cold steel. Robot knows exactly what he would like you to do. We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force this side of the wall. But that's all about to change, and when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from that look I see it as a foregone conclusion. My thanks. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn the East End into an Imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map, right here, high. A patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Amber. Bake time. Fate time. I don't want to train my botany. Go away, thanks. Solo duty. All went to plan then? Good. Our scouts report that a unit escorting the prototype weapons has left Castrum Veladina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guests to arrive. Let's kick some butt.
Things looked grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces. It's like all my name days have come at once! Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head. That is, if my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush! Attack!
So this fight is pretty basic. You just have to kill all the adds that aggro to you, just AoE them down, and then switch to the prototype again. When you get a tether on you, bring it away from your quote-unquote party members, the NPCs, and have it explode somewhere else. That's pretty much it for the first part. Adders, flames, deal with the escort, leave the armor to Amber. Bugger me, is that General Alden? Bahaha, chance to get my revenge on Amber and test our new weapons and kill an Alliance commander. Oh, it doesn't get much better than this. One would almost think he harbored a grudge against you, Amber. Whatever did you do to him? Hurry up and kill the bastards. We've got him outnumbered. What are you idiots doing? Give them everything we've got. There's no end to them. I'm here if you need healing, Amber.
Now I've gotcha!
Looks like there's only one prototype. Whatever else we do this day, I want it destroyed. Keep it up, lads. That thing won't take much more. Enough! We have a secret weapon of great power, don't we? Let's bloody well use him. On your guard, Amber. He's up to something.
You'll be weeping blood!
More of them. I'm gonna have to have a word with our scouts.
Roar, Tizona! As a raging bull!
He who fights and runs, what the... Who in the hells are you lot? For Alamigo, let none escape. We have them now. Forward, forward. You think you've won, eh? Then we go together. Self-destruct sequence initiated. 60, 59, 58. 7 hells. There's no way to get to safety. We must disable it before it blows. In other words, DPS check. Got it. $30, $29, $28. No, 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 no! My secret weapon.
Oh! Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I've passed harder stools than these piles of scrap. You'll pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
Good luck.
Aye! Run and tell your Viceroy! The day belongs to Alamigo! Yeah!
Yeah!
Well done, all of you. I'd call this operation a resounding success. Can't say I'm surprised. The Bull of Alamigo has an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. 'Twas Marshal Tarpun who made this plan, and all of you, Resistance and Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty, for which I'm grateful beyond words. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. It's been a pleasure, General. Until the next battle, Monago, I leave the Scions in your care. We shall return to the Castrum then. Amber, Mistress Levier, once more you have my thanks, as Master Kemp said, until the next battle. I'd heard the stories, but to actually see you in action, I almost found myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously, though, it was inspirational. Ah, but you must be tired of hearing that, eh? I'll keep it simple then. Thanks for the help out there. Let fill your hearts with tried. Monago is ready to return to Rhalgr's Reach. Well, there's no reason to remain here any longer. Let's go back to the Reach. All the way back? That means I can teleport. You didn't have to take part in the operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what was asked of you, without hesitation, and for that we owe you a debt. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garmel's newest weapons and smashed them! The people will remember this day. Aye, that they will, for it marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory. The beginning of a campaign by a united Eorzea to drive the Garleans from our lands. Promises and platitudes mean naught without action, but the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago, during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Well said, Commander, which is why I intend to go from village to village and spread word of our victory and our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners, just you wait and see. Amber, Alice, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance. Now Meffred. A familiar face forgotten. Meffred cannot help but wonder if you remember who he is. At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we'd meet again here, of all places, though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? Of course I remember you. You're from I helped you with the poison stuff. I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarry Mill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Gundobald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Gurabani and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Ah, that's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you, Lise? By all means, we'd welcome the company. There'll be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade if you would. Aye, sure. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There's more villagers there than out here, but also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. You'll need to tread carefully.
I remember the peaks of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity, who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
We have a glamour in place here too, as you may have noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, there is not more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember though, once we leave these ruins, we'll have no glamours to conceal us. The villages to the east, keep watch for patrols as we move. Nary an Imperial in sight, that's a mercy. Alagana's due east, past that bridge. Follow me, it's not much further. You can rest easy. We made it. This is Alagana. It feels strange coming home like this. I always imagined it would be... Oh, sorry. That has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do. But as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, we're short-handed because many of the people were taken in by the Griffin's promises and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumored that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. Then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may be suspicious of outsiders claiming allegiance to the Resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how were we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square. Not if you didn't want the place to be burned to the ground, no. You might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye. We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. You never know when an Imperial spy is listening. We must speak with the Elder first. I know for a fact he can be trusted. We'll listen to what he has to say and decide what to do after. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope that there are some brave men and women here willing to fight. Prodigal daughter. Meffred would like to introduce you to the village elder. Ragnfrid, the village elder, is over by the shore. No time like the present. Let's have a word. Don't know you, traveler. You a merchant? You'll not find much custom here. Greetings and well met, elder, and sincerest apologies that I did not send word ahead of our arrival. Too long have I been away from Alagana, and I would know of your recent troubles. Ah, you are comrades of Meffred. I see. Speak on, though I suspect I know your purpose. The Griffin came with many men and left with many more. Such is the rumor. Is it true? He lit a fire in their hearts and then dangled a dream before their tired eyes, and now you come to steal away what few remain. The Griffin was a traitor and a madman, and we had no part in his schemes. We have made an agreement with the Alliance. This time it will be different. This time? Cold comfort to the dead and the ones they left behind. How much more must we give before you've had your fill? But surely you hate the Empire as much as we do. They took our lands, our traditions, even our god, and they demand a fifth of what little we've got left. I hate the bastards with every fiber of my being. But hate's not enough, Meffred. We can't keep doing this. I'll not tell anyone you came, but you need to go. Now. Leave us be. Never return. You've got no right to speak to us like that. I've got a quarry that was producing barely enough to keep us fed, and that was before half our young men and women went off to die for your bloody cause. So yes, I've got every right to tell you to leave my village. No, you don't, because it's my village too, my home. What in the hells are you on about? Wait, I know those eyes. You're one of Curtis's girls. Lise Hext, and I'm here. I'm here to take back my homeland. By Ragnar, the last time I saw you, I didn't even know if you were still alive, and I never thought you'd come. I almost didn't, and my sister never will. Lots of others won't either, and that's why we've got to carry on the fight. You even sound like him. As you say, I've got no right to tell you to leave. Alagana is much your home as it is mine. But I say to you again, we can give no more. Yes, I heard you the first time. Let's go. That could have been handled better, but what's done is done. At least we've been granted permission to say. I was hoping Ragnfrid might help us recruit some of his people, but that clearly isn't going to happen. If we're to convince any of them to join, we'll first need to regain their trust. It's risky and it's hardly subtle, but I say we approach the villagers directly, see what problems they've got, and if we can do anything to help. Makes sense to me. Let's split up and ask around. Death by 1,000 rocks. Anga Kroll regards you with suspicion. A new face in Alagana, huh? What would you ask of me then? A stranger and a generous soul besides. Bollocks, there's not more suspicious than a good Samaritan. On the other hand, if you're an Imperial agent, I expect you'd go about your business with more discretion. Bugger me, you really are here to help, aren't you? Very well, I'll take you up on your offer, stranger. My little brother's working the rocks by Grim and Enid. He's got something for me. Can you go and get it? Right then. Frightened Curl is his name? Ask for the leftovers. He ought to understand. Hard country. Griseldis is here, but her mind is elsewhere. You'd best keep your distance if you know it's good for you. Say your piece and move on. Looking for folks down on their luck? Congratulations, you found one. As you can see, my leg ain't what it used to be. Some days I can hardly walk for the pain. Mornings are the worst, especially after cold nights. Hard labor's right out. Too much pain and trouble for others. There's a tea that helps with it, though. I'd need to grind a chapuli horn and a hornbill talon for the blend. You'll go and get some for me? Just like that? You needn't trouble yourself so. You're the leftovers, are you? Not like my brother to send someone instead, but so be it. It's all in the sacks over yonder. They're bleeding heavy mines, so be careful when you pick them up. Thankfully, I can teleport with these unconsciously heavy sacks. The new face. You have my leftovers? Huh. Well, I'll be. You actually went and brought the whole lot. Much obliged, much obliged. It's saltpeter for making fire sand, in case you're curious what it's all for. The rocks by the lakes have got good deposits. 'Tain't hard for my brother to pass for any other plodding quarryman, all the while sweeping bits and pieces off to the side to bundle up and sell to the settlers what trade with the resistance. It's a living and a way of fighting back besides, our way of spitting in the Garlean's eye for putting our father in an imperial uniform and shipping him off to some faraway province 15 years ago. Dunno if he's dead or alive even, though if he were alive he'd not be long for this world if we were caught fighting for the resistance, so this is the best we can do. That's the long and short of it. We do what we can, though we know it's not enough. I think you'll find that most folks here ain't much different. Everybody's got a reason, but in the end the result is the same. I suppose I just wanted you to know is all. That we know why you're here, and that even if we can't join you, we wish we could. You've been gone a while. What brings you back to Alagana? Oh, I never actually meant to. I mean, in times like these, you never think people will actually... This country's hard on people, but it's not just that. The Imperials, they've made it known I'm not to be helped. A dead man's good for one lesson, you know, whereas a live one. You're with the Resistance, right? I suppose there's no reason not to tell you then. My father, God's rest his soul, was deathly sick at the time, and so I'd gone out into the forest, spear in hand, to gather herbs, and then I had the good fortune to run into Imperial patrol. My weapon marked me as a rebel, or so they said. Not that it'd have made a difference if I had fought back. I knew what the lot of them were about the moment the Centurion laid eyes on me. Didn't matter in the end, of course. Some people just like to hurt others, and by the time I limped back to the hut, it was too late for my father. Too late for me too, and many others, I imagine. Help them too, if you like. They'll be grateful and say thank you, but beyond that, I wouldn't hope for much. A life more ordinary. Meffred is hard at work trying to win over the villagers of Alagana. Ah, there you are, Amber. I've been trying to help the villagers deal with this food shortage of theirs. Recently, Imperials have been swooping into villages unannounced and seizing supplies in order to prevent the people from stockpiling, in case they might be in league with the Resistance. It's not much, but I've taught them a few tricks to better hide what little they've got left. How's Lise getting on, by the way? You'd think people would be more inclined to trust a local girl, assuming they remember her, that is. No, I didn't mean to. And where were you these past 20 years? Where were you when we were being ground under the Black Wolf's boot, on the other side of his bastard wall, living the high life, I'd wager? That's not fair. Oh, and who's this? Another one of your freedom-loving friends, deigning to help us poor unfortunate souls. Trying to whip us into a frenzy so we'll go and storm Castrum with our pickaxes and shovels? Leave, all of you, before you bring a cohort down on us all. And you, don't you dare speak like you're one of us. You can't even begin to understand what we've been through. You weren't here, Lise. You weren't here. This is my home, and I love it with all my heart, and if you truly have any love for it too, you'll keep us out of your doomed rebellion. He has a point. No matter what I say or do, it doesn't change the fact I left them behind. Sweetheart, you were 5 years old. But this isn't about me or anyone else. It's about Alamigo. Let's go and find Meffred. Doesn't mean they have to be jerks to you. Looks like the Elder wasn't the only one unwilling to hear us out. Can't blame them given what happened to the wall. I thought I might be able to appeal to them as a fellow. I don't know, but if anything, it just made them angrier. I haven't lived through it like they have. I can't claim to know the struggle like they do, Lise. I ran, too, but if I hadn't, I'd never met Amber or the rest of you, and we might not be here today in a position to make a difference. So I don't regret my choices, nor will I apologize for them. There's more than one way to fight. Help! Someone, help! We need help! I don't like the sound of that one bit. Come on. Rakata, the Tributum, and the Bloody Ratman, they... damn it all. You there, take a deep breath and then tell us what happened. It was all business as usual. The Tributum's due soon, and we were taking to the Imperials when the Kakurin attacked. They took my brother and our money. Took them where? Ruins to the south of here. Was just an old temple before they came, and listen, Wakrata's the only family I've got left. If I lose him, The Ziggurat. If the Ratman took him there, he's as good as dead. We've got to go after them. If there's even a chance her brother is still alive, we have to try. You're right, Lise. We've got to help them. It's not for the missing man, then for the Tributum. The Garleans won't suffer excuses if they're late. The color of angry Kakurin. Mefford understands that you must act quickly to save Wakrata. So Wakrata is being held somewhere at the Ziggurat to the south, which has been taken over by a host of Kakurin bandits. That about covers it then. Be prepared for a fight. They may not be the most challenging foes, but there's sure to be a lot of them. Unless you're really good at sneaking around. I'd like to see them make a Bud Zapper to kill that thing. Please, please let me go. I'm begging you. I don't want to die. Hear that? I think it came from the top of the ziggurat. Who dares come to loot our man flesh? Ours to eat, ours to eat. I knew it'd come to this. Kill them quick, before they alert the others. And this is where if I'm going to be going up the stairs, I want to see if I can... By Ralgar, what did I ever do to deserve this? I've gone to bed hungry for months. I'm skin and bones. I'd hardly make a snack, much less a meal. Oh, you found him. Wait, are you here to rescue me? Your sister sent us. It's gonna be all right. My sister? Oh, Ralgar be praised, she's safe. And you? You lot fought your way in here just for me? To think there are still good, brave folk in this world. We should go before the Kakirin return in force. Do you still have the Tributum? Oh gods, the Tributum! The Imperials will be wondering where I am. I have to go. What? Right now? In your condition? You don't understand. We were given a warning last month for being short. If I don't make it in time, there's no telling what will happen to me and my sister. I'm glad we saved him, but seeing him run off like that, I've got a bad feeling about this. The Black Wolf's pups. Liz has never been one to ignore her conscience. Listen, Amber, Mefred, I think we need to go after Wakrata. Wait, you had better not be thinking of stopping him. You heard what he said. If they don't pay one way, they'll pay another. I know that, I do, and I don't want to interfere. I just want to see that he makes it there safely. If that's the sum of it, then fine. Let's head down and see if we can't pick up his trail. chocobo feather. That's it. Any luck? A chocobo feather, is it? Aye, by my reckoning, it came from Rakrata's bird, in which case, there's a clap bridge us around the bend. Hug the rocks and stick to the shadows. We'll find him soon enough. Any minute now. I expect he'll come thundering around the bend and, hear that? Get to cover, quickly now.
Are they Imperials?
Worse. Skulls. Listen, Lys, whatever happens, stay hidden and do not intervene. Understood?
What?
You there! Halt! You know you shouldn't be here. Explain yourself.
Forgive me, sir. I came to deliver the tributum.
Oh, aye. A likely story. Only a fool would dare to come so late. Or, mayhap, a resistance spy.
No! No, you've got it all wrong. I was waylaid by bandits. It's not my fault.
I said halt!
Is this a joke? You don't seriously expect us to believe this is a fifth? How stupid do you think we are?
It is, I swear, on my mother's life.
Spare us. You came late, you lied about bandits, and then you tried to cheat the Empire of its due.
Think you can kill them all? Including the ones watching from the tower? Even if you did, others would come for him and his family. You'd be condemning them all to a life of hard labour. Assuming they didn't just execute them, that is.
But it isn't fair!
It's your bloody fault we're stuck out here patrolling this god's-forsaken wasteland. It's your fault I have to listen to people go on and on about how Alan Egans can't be trusted. I've worked and toiled harder than any man. I'm a citizen, goddammit. And what are you? A stupid, stubborn little dog who'd sooner bite the hand that feeds him and pine for the good old days.
That's enough! Lord Xenos is expecting our report.
I bet the poor bastard can't believe his luck. He gets to go home. We should do the same.
I'd heard the commander was keen-eyed, but gods, that was a near thing. It tears me up inside to see our own kinsmen doing the bidding of the Viceroy. But they made their choice, and if it comes to it, I'll cut down every last one of them myself. Homeward bound. Milfred has no wish to linger unnecessarily. Recruit is alive and the tributum's been paid. That's all that matters for now. I, for one, would rather not wait around to see if the skulls decide to return. We'd best get back to Alagana and tell Raggedfred his man got the job done. Teleporting it is. We owe you a debt of gratitude for what you did. Ricardo told me everything, how you fought with the Kieran and saved his life. For all the good we did, we saw what happened when he met with the skulls. How they beat him half to death. We could have stopped them. I reckon you could. Efford's a warrior, as is your comrade. And you're strong, like your father, that much is plain. But I think, Rhalgr, you did not, because it would not have ended with them. Ricardo and his sister would have been branded insurgents, if not the whole lot of us. Bones heal, scars fade, but the dead remain dead. We're alive, and that's more than can be said for only the gods know how many others. That's enough for you, is it? To put up with whatever they do to you, so long as you get to see another day? That's right. You grit your teeth and you learn to live with the pain. I'll admit I was quick to judge you, Lys, and for that I apologize. I knew you and yours mean well. I do. But I'm telling you, gods in the heavens is my witness, that they've got nothing left to give. We can't help you. I understand. Thank you for your honesty. She may say it, but she doesn't mean it, nor would I expect her to. Her father was stubborn as an ox, too. If she's set on walking the same path, I but pray she won't follow it to the same end. Well, she took it better than I anticipated, which isn't saying much, I suppose. We should go and see if she's all right. Sorry about running off like that. Alamegans terrorizing their own? I just can't accept it, you know? No matter what he thinks, they shouldn't have to put up with it day after day after day. I'm not completely naive, you know. I didn't expect them to storm a castrum with their pickaxes and shovels, or whatever it was. But nor did I expect Recrata to just lie there in the dirt while they kicked him. I can't claim to know their pain. I barely remember this place, or even my father's face. But I remember Yida's. I remember how scared she was when we ran, and that look in her eyes when she talked about home. Her home, but not mine, is it? There you are, Lys. I've been looking all over for you. Well, you found me. Got something else to say? Aye, that I do. I said some things to you before that I shouldn't have. 'Twasn't my place to do so, and I'm sorry. All that rubbish I spat about how I love my village, but when one of ours was in need, I was cowering here with all the others. I didn't even think to go after Recrata, but you did. Made me feel like the bloody hypocrite I am. If I truly cared about my people, I'd fight for them, so I will, if you'll have me. You're asking to join the resistance? When you put it like that, I suppose I am. But not just me. There are others I know who've been thinking about it for a while now. There's not many of us, and we're not hardened warriors like you lot, but if your heart bleeds for Alamigo, then that's good enough for me. You and yours are more than welcome at Rhalgr's Reach. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. I'll go and speak with others and send word when we're ready. Still think this isn't your home? No. I was just thinking out loud. And with that, my friends, our mission is concluded. Let us return to the Reach. First of all, allow me to commend you both on a job well done. Though nothing went according to plan, we nevertheless managed to attract some new recruits, and it was your passion and conviction that moved them to join. Thank you. No, thank you for giving me an opportunity to find out what our people have been through these past 20 years. It's been humbling. And troubling, too. I'd heard about the skulls, but that was the first time I'd seen them in the flesh. I know you say they're the same as any other Imperial soldiers, and maybe that's how I'll have to think of them myself if our paths ever cross on the battlefield, but... When, not if. That day will come, Lise. You can't afford to hesitate when it does. Young, old, conscript, citizen, Garlean, Alamegan, none of that matters. They've all got their reasons, but they're no better than yours, especially when they're bearing down on you blade in hand. Saying that, I don't want to kill them any more than you do. If I could convince them to lay down their arms, I would. Sadly, I've never been much of a talker myself, but who knows? Maybe you could be the one, Lise. Your father certainly was. Right, then I'd best begin preparing for those new recruits. Amber, Lise, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for helping, Alagana. I'll admit that I didn't have high hopes when we first set out, but the results speak for themselves. Where men go as one. Conrad wishes to thank you for all you have done in such a short time. Owing to the efforts of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Scions. I see operations here have been proceeding apace in my absence. Welcome back, brother dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits were successful? Indeed, there are several amongst the Scions' ranks that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavor with the Resistance, whom I am come to present. Commander Kemp, if I may, my name is Arenvald Lentinus, a half-breed, as you can doubtless tell. I'm here to fight for a free Alamigo, for an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honor. You are a true-born son of Garabania, same as me. This is not my honor to grant, but yours to freely take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Orzian Alliance and the signs of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I will propose to General Alden that we draw up plans for an assault on Castellum Velodina. Then, in the meantime, we will make what preparations we can. Meanwhile, in the royal palace of Alamigo.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Orients and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near-total casualties.
Near total? Go on.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work. The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live. However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Yeah, he ran, though. That's why he survived.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
My lord,
Cowards, who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes.
Welcome to Xenos.
Why? When confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands. Accordingly, we have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gir Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting. It is a delicate dance, one which asks much of my hounds.
And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
My lord, I have a proposal.
Silence, Alamegan! You do forget yourself! Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Thank you, my lord.
She's a strange woman. Right then, I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties? We are here to help, after all. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. We'd be grateful for any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. Future rust, future dust. Beves is certain he has seen you somewhere before. I beg your pardon? The woman who Besagai's Van Baelsar wishes to offer me her assistance? I say, this is highly irregular, though I have heard it said you had a penchant for aiding the common man, in which case. Before the occupation I was a humble historian, while my duties leave me scarce time for aught else. I think it important that these momentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Primary sources are indispensable, and I had a mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters, ask them their motivations for taking up this cause, and so forth. You may take down their statements in this log, and, Amber, thank you for your service, and now and ever after. Why'd I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend the Imperials butchered before my very eyes back in Alamigo. We owned a stall in the markets, and a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a foam of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. Why? Why indeed? To save lives, perhaps, or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and brothers were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to the Garleans, eh? More where that lot came from? After that I couldn't keep on doing nothing. Ye wayward brothers, the Ananta battle-maid is not one to be trifled with. You look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits this day. Yet nary one has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location. I do not know. They number 5 in all, these would-be warriors. Send them to me, should you chance to find them. Huh? Training? Gah, I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Thank you. Ah, 1,000 pardons. So preoccupied was I by the question of whether Alamigo should be a monarchy or republic that I neglected to attend my training. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. The teacher calls for me? I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling Magitek armor, you see, and... Ah, yes, of course. There is no time. If you would excuse me. I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know? And there's always a need for cooks, or at least people who can work with whatever the foraging parties turn up with. A dash of green. Alyssa considers the cookpot with a frown. You want to help, do you? Seeing as how I'm in no position to leave the stewpot unattended, could you go and ask Teb for a variety of herbs? 6 sprigs or so of whatever he's got on hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem. Depending on the recipe, it doesn't really matter what sort you add, so long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. Herbs, is it? 6 sprigs of whatever's on hand? Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad of it. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother, though. You'd be surprised what you can find growing underfoot, even in the Reach. Oh, bugger. You were sent by the snake, weren't you? I heard 1 in 4 recruits doesn't live through their training. That can't be true, right? Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. I know, I'm late, but I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. Aren't you the Icon Slayer? Damned if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance, but it's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Alamigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You're either with them or not, and if you're with them, you may as well make the most of it. Food, trading, citizenship, if you live long enough. You'll die stealing someone else's land like as not, but that's the choice. But me, I'd rather die. All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials will be so kind. 'Tis a thankless job to teach, some say, but I say their survival's thanks enough. Fare you well. Ah, there you are. Got those herbs I asked for? Thanks, that'll do nicely. And, sorry to impose upon you, miss. Thought you were another new recruit. Didn't realize until after that you were, But to answer the question that's probably on your mind, yes. It's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful when our countrymen can spare some for the cause. Though that comes at a cost too. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake as we must, and we never lose sight of the dream. Well met, Amber. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? Hope you can read my writing. As fascinating as they are varied, you have a knack for convincing others to bare their hearts to you. I could not have done better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous times pass into memory, their account will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. Token of faith. The swarthy resistance fighter is at wit's end. Damn it all, where could it have got to? Oh, pardon me, fellow lover of freedom and justice. You haven't seen a ward of the Destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground, as if a certain bloody fool had dropped it. Aye, I'd been him. I had it this morning, that much I know for certain, and I've not left the Reach since. So it's got to be around here somewhere. If you got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of the Fist earlier, so it might be there. As for me, I'll look around near the officer's pavilion. They're hardly rare, I know, and I could just as easily buy another, but even so, please help me find it. I swear, I've searched high and low, but it won't turn up. I found it. 7 Hells, that's the one. That's my lucky ward. You're a godsend, sister. Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of the Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessings of the monks. And then Theodoric came and burned it all to the ground, the mad bastard. And after him came the Garleans, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still keep to the old ways, as do many others, and when my son is born, I'll teach him the stories and the scripture, as my mother taught me. Crossing the Veladina. Alphino has been making himself useful to the Resistance. And with that, another task is complete. Ah, Amber, I hear you have been keeping busy. Aye, that she has, and we thank you for it. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. As discussed, Monago, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castellum Veladina to General Alden personally. Of course, sir. Are you and yours planning to return to Castum Oriens before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? So long as I can teleport right there and I don't have to walk along. That seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. Very well, I'll wait for you at the pass, but not too long. I expect Krile Nushtola will wish to remain here to support the Triurgans, but nevertheless, we should go and ask them. Is aught amiss? Yeah, we're gonna go kick some stuff. I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation marks a turning point in our conflict with Garleans. For the first time, the Resistance and the Alliance shall go on the offensive and attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory. Personally, I believe it is imperative that we offer them our full support. As was the case with Ishgard, however, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalves. This is war, and every scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight for Alamigo, for my father, for Yida. I'm in it to the end. The choice is made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. They will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all. Van Belsar and Van Darnus were but the first to try. Though your fervor is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. At the risk of repeating myself, I am of course of the same mind. The present situation is untenable, and further complicated by the existence of Ilbert's primal. I believe we have no recourse but to directly and openly intervene. I thought this a foregone conclusion given our actions thus far, but if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I am still wholly committed to this cause, for it is ultimately the self-same cause I have served since first I pledged to serve Master Louisoix and the Circle of Knowing, the salvation of Eorzea by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many who require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. I came here from Menphilion. That hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay for Y'shtola for now, and tend to the wounded. As for you, Amber, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmall, the woman who slew Gaius van Belsar and some half-dozen primals besides. Your presence may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Many look to you as a hero and heap great expectations upon your shoulders, but you, like every scion, must decide for yourself. We can but carry on for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. Well said indeed. Take care, Y'shtola, Kryl, and do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Lise, I would ask that you remain here by Conrad's side. We should go, or Manago will leave without us. Might I persuade you to join us, Amber? Should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Oriens would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I am sure I can convince Manago to wait a little longer. No, I don't need to wait a little longer. Let's go. So you'll be accompanying us? Full glad am I to hear it. All set? Excellent, then let us be off. Welcome back, comrades. What news? Greetings, General. I am come at Commander Kemp's behest to brief you on the latest developments at the Reach. Our recruitment efforts have exceeded expectations. In addition to welcome many motivated young Alamegans, our ranks have been bolstered by the arrival of a number of experienced veterans, thanks in large part to the efforts of the Scions. As a consequence, we are now able to field half a dozen new units, with more being trained as we speak. Good, I gather Conrad is eager to strike while the iron's hot. Just so, General. He proposes that we begin preparations for a joint operation to capture Castellum of Aldina. Capture Valadina? That will not be easy. It will, however, be necessary if we are ever to push east towards the capital. There is no profit in delay. It is only a matter of time before the Garleans learn of our plans and summon reinforcements. The Alliance hereby accepts Commander Kemp's proposal. Tell him to take no chances. Bring every able-bodied Alamegan who can wield a weapon. Pippin, I want Valadina watched. Assess its defenses. Every fortress has a weakness, and I would know this one's. If there is no objection, General, might the Scions join Marshal Tarapon? By all means. If that is all, let us be about it. Conrad and the General of one mind, it seems. I only wish I could say the same. While this aggressive strategy may well profit us in the end, what losses will we suffer in the meantime? Anyway, we should speak with the Vice Marshal about his reconnaissance mission and see how he would like to proceed. In crimson it began. Pippin is looking forward to the assault on Castum Volodena. Thank you for volunteering to join me. This should be a fairly straightforward reconnaissance mission, so long as we do not have the ill fortune to run afoul of an Imperial patrol. Come, our destination is beyond East End, just north of Volodena. This ought to be close enough. Now we settle in for a long watch. That said, it would be prudent to keep your weapons at the ready, in the event a passing patrol stumbles upon us, or worse.
Excellent. The disposition of the Imperial forces is exactly as expected. I will notify Father. Cannon fire! Where did it come from?
Smoke! There! Is that... Oh gods, it's Rhalga's Reach.
It's no use. I think someone's jamming our communications.
You don't think... Could this be part of a coordinated attack?
Too early to draw conclusions. We must abort the assault and return to the Reach at once.
Forward! Give them no quarter!
You!
Traitor! Kinslayer!
You're no kin of mine!
you!
Well, well. Stand aside, Pylus. This one has promise.
Have a care, my lord. She's not like the others.
Do not disappoint me, girl, or I will kill you.
Seven hells! It's him! It's Xenos!
The Viceroy? Oh, you are a dead man! Ah!
So spirited, and yet so empty.
Please run!
Ah, a magical barrier. Alas. It will not save you.
How? Yashala!
Hold the line, Byrolga! Hold the line!
Kryl!
Alphino!
We saw the smoke and thought we heard explosions. Are we under attack?
The Imperials were all over us before we realized what was happening. No one knew where to run or what to do. It was chaos. Lise and Master Kemp rallied the guards and bought us enough time to get some of the wounded to safety, but I haven't seen either of them since.
Confound it! If we lose the Reach, this will all have been for naught.
Arenvold, can you escort these people to the wall?
Aye, sir.
Our place is at the Reach. We must offer such aid and succor as we are able. Saving lives is now our paramount concern.
If we can hold back the Imperials until Father sends reinforcements, we may yet turn the tide.
I'll join you. I've done all I can for these people, and you'll be crying out for a healer in there.
I fear you're right. Come, there is no time to lose.
First part of this is fairly straightforward. Run through and kill everything. Gods help us, they're killing everyone. We have to stop them while there's still someone left to save.
It's all over now.
The Imperials came from nowhere, started cutting people down left and right. Confound it, nothing for it but to fight. 12 for Fend, it's a bloodbath. Remember that we're here to save lives, defend the hostages. Those monsters, these people had surrendered. It's not too late for the others, we must hurry.
For the glory of the flames!
What the? Are those beastmen fighting for the Imperials? I've never seen them before. They took Lise and the others deeper inside. You've got to... There they are. We're not too late.
Rebels gone!
Gah, who in the seven hells are you? Check that's gonna kick your ass.
What took you so long? Alphino, I need your help!
Fun fact, if you're a healer here, they'll ask for your help too.
My lord, the prisoners!
See to your men, Pylus.
As you command, my lord.
Your friends were a disappointment. But you will entertain me, will you not?
I have a blondie to beat. I have no need for this rabble. He'll stall this up by doing a massive attack that knocks your allies out and depletes most of your HP. Seven hells, not even Father could do that. You yet stand. Mayhap you have potential. At the start, you can ignore the first two bevy of swords. You do not need to attack them as they are on the outside of the arena, and do a small AoE. He will jump to you and do a large one, so just run away from that. The second time he brings swords in, you're going to want to run to him, because on top of these things exploding, and slightly larger this time, he's going to jump to one area of the arena and cleave almost entire part of it. Better, but lacking nevertheless. This time he'll do a swell in the middle, followed by his cleave of most of the area, and put his swords back down. The next time he does the swords, he's going to do them in the middle, force you into the middle and then do them. You're going to have to kill one of them because he's also going to jump and do a cleave, which is going to cover most of the area. Makes major ow.
Don't stop now.
Then he'll do the circle in the middle thing and take out half your HP with one of his moves again. Then he'll do it again, and that will be the end. It's okay, you're not actually meant to beat him. There's no way to beat him.
Pathetic.
Seven hells.
Shall we give chase, General?
Nay. There has been enough death this day. See to the wounded.
Aye, sir.
You all right, lass?
I think my pride may have taken a knock.
Tis no ordinary foe could best the likes of you.
Don't you die on me, Ashola! Hold on! Don't worry, it's going to be all right. Alphino, Master Kemp is all yours.
Understood.
Don't just stand there gawping. Hold her down while I work.
It's at that point she would have told you to heal if you were a healer.
The worst is past, but without the proper facilities, I can do no more.
Master Kemp too would be better served in the infirmary. Let us take them there without delay.
Give us a hand, would you, Lise?
Of course.
I know you must be exhausted, but there will be others who need our help. Leave these two to us and look to the other wounded.
You did well, Amber. You saved lives. No matter what happens, remember that. Now then, let's do what we can for the wounded. Every minute counts. The fires fade. The haunted look in Raban's eyes speaks volumes. See to the wounded, Amber. If they live, help them. If not, move on. Meffred lies motionless, having breathed his last. Clenched in his fist is a small charm which you take for safekeeping. He was already cold when I got to him. There was naught I could do. That charm must have been important. You'd best take it to Conrad. Manago? Meffred, where are you? This is... He's dead, isn't he? Meffred was a warrior. Always thinking about others before himself. He had an Imperial patrol chase him nigh on 20 moms, so that his wounded would have time to escape. His comrades loved him for it, of course, though that only made him worry more. Did you know that he sent his men in Quarry Mill away because he thought they were fighting for him and not the cause? Aye, well, he did. The only life he was willing to risk was his own, you see. But that's exactly the kind of man who should be leader. The kind of man who deserves to survive. Not an old fool who's all used up. There's no logic to it, Master Kemp. There never was. Who stands, who falls? In the heat of battle, we can but do our best. As he did. Meffred will be sorely missed, aye. Not because of his sacrifice. Many now live who otherwise would not, and they need us now more than ever. Aye, aye, that they do. Forgive me, I had high hopes for him is all. Bereft of hearth and home, Rauger's reach is no longer safe, as Pippin well knows. Our defeat was no near thing. It was total, a humiliation. We were powerless to withstand our enemy's assault. But we cannot afford to dwell on our failure. As Alphonse said, it is those who survive whom we must think of now. Brauger's Reach is no longer safe. The Imperials may have withdrawn, but they could return at any time to finish what they began. We dare not remain here. Those who are not fit to make the journey to Castrum Oriens will need to be taken by chocobo carriage. Agreed? Good. I shall oversee preparations for the carriages. In the meantime, I would have you scour the infirmary for any supplies that might prove useful during the journey. Forgive me, but it is imperative that I can continue preparing medicine for the wounded. If you desire treatment, I must ask that you seek it elsewhere. Actually, I'm looking for stuff. Oh, I see. In that case, you are free to search the barber and take that which you require. I would not have our people dying en route. I would assist you, but this process demands my undivided attention. Captain Amber, Marshal Tarapin said you might have something for me? Yeah, I got some medicine. 'Twill be praised. This should put the driver's hearts at ease. Tell the Vice Marshal we await his orders. Yashol and the others are safely strapped in. Don't worry, I'll be by her side the entire time. Thank you, Kryle. I'll walk alongside. They'll need protection in case the Garleans try anything. Hang on, you're injured too, aren't you? Shouldn't you be in one of the carriages? I'm not so frail that I can't make the trip on my own. Besides, there's still work to be done here. I'll see you at the wall when it's finished. As you wish. Then let us set forth at once. We shall move as quickly as our comrades' health allows. To Castrum Oriens. Can't we just, like, group teleport everyone? Divide and conquer. Conrad is a man struggling to cope with a bitter reality. You saved a good many of my men, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But the fact remains, our forces were decimated. In this state, we'll not be mounting an assault on Castellum Volodinia anywhere else. We need to be honest with ourselves about our prospects, but first, we need to put our affairs here in order. Afterwards, I'll join you at Castrum Oriens. Understood. We will go and speak with General Alden. And this is where we're going to leave off, so thank you for joining me for this installment of my Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. I hope it was enjoyable, aside from my poor job at voice acting. Feel free to give feedback in the comments below, or just to say hi. I may not respond, but I do read all my comments. Feel free to follow the links to my socials below and drop by Twitch to say hello there too. Tap that sub button if you want to see what I'm up to on YouTube, and as always, thank you for watching. Hope you all take care. See you guys for the next video. Until then, stay safe, and ciao.